Hi there, what we are looking at here today is my remake of Time Pilot, an arcade game released by Konami in 1982 and one of my all-time favorites. What's on the screen now is the Windows version. The same code works on Linux and Mac OS because I used a small library called Tigger to handle the rendering and OpenAL for the audio. The remake is quite complete. I am missing the audio for the final boss because I need to be able to play the game all the way to that point and then hang around to try and record a sample of the boss audio while no other samples are playing, such as an enemy shooting or whatever. I have spent hours playing to get the samples I have and I am still not good enough to get that last sample. The code for this game is all written in C. When I was done this version, which uses all 16-bit ints, more on that later, I decided to see if I could compile the code using LLVM-MOS for the Commander X16, which uses a 65CO2 CPU. After removing the rendering and audio, I saw that the code runs faster than 60 frames per second, even with all 16 bits on the Commander X16. I then set about to make the code 8-bit and add Commander X16 rendering, mostly using sprites. The game is already awesome on the Commander X16, and I have yet to do the audio. I adjusted the Commander X16 version to have a horizontal resolution of 240 lines. The Windows, Linux, Mac OS versions all have a 200-line horizontal resolution. The reason for the 200-line resolution has to do with the origins of me doing Time Pilot. Around 2021 somewhere, Jeremy Rand released a game called Bugs for the Apple IIgs. It's an amazing remake of Centipede. I loved this game so much I also wanted to do an arcade port, so I chose Time Pilot. I then wrote a lot of the game in 65816 assembly language to the point where all I had to do was add the enemy AI and their sprites. The Apple IIgs is a hard target to hit. It has only one frame buffer and no hardware sprites, so you end up racing the beam all in software. And that's not the end of the complications, so suffice to say it's a lot of work, even just making all the versions of the sprites you need. I stopped working on it and I had moved on to something else. When I came back to Time Pilot, I made the C code based on my Apple IIgs assembly code. I still intend to finish the Apple IIgs version. The C versions are all up on GitHub and hopefully the Apple IIgs version will join them in the not too distant future. Link in the description. Thank you for watching.